Hey everybody, welcome back to Tech Odyssey. So today is my battery test for the S22 Ultra. This is my follow-up. I did an initial discussion on the battery life when I first got it, the first 24 hours that I had taken it off the charger after full charge, and it got about 5 hours of screen on time. And I told people, look, it should get better than that after about a week. We'll give it about a week. We'll let it learn the adaptive routines, the adaptive battery kick in, and all that good stuff. We'll come back, we'll test it again so I can show you what kind of improvements, because a lot of people don't believe in that stuff. They think, okay, I got my phone day one, I've installed and set up everything, and it doesn't get good battery life. And typically, in the first couple of days, that's when you're going to get the absolute worst battery for your phone. So that's not a good time to evaluate it and make a decision saying the battery life is not good. I've been using this over a week now. Now, just to take a look at my battery statistics, this time I've had the phone off the charger for 1 day and 5 hours. 1 day and 5 hours, screen on time 5 hours and 59 minutes. So this includes a good test of the standby time and also how much I've actively been using it. And 6 hours is kind of like where I consider the baseline of decent battery life when it comes to a phone, especially with the 5,000 milliamp battery. But there are things you have to take into consideration here. Also, these are the settings that I have it on. Under the processing speed, I have it on optimize. Yes, it could be on maximum. I'm not going to worry about that too much because I've used it on maximum and I've used it on optimized, and it basically feels kind of like it runs the same to me. So why not get the better battery life? So I've got it on optimized. It's the same thing I had it on last time. I have dark mode on. I have the adaptive 120 hertz refresh rate turned on. I have 5G enabled, and I've been using it on Wi-Fi at home, a mixed leaving home and at the house. Also, the brightness, I have it at about 50% most of the time that I've tried it this time. Last time, it kind of was between 50 and 85%. This time, I've had it pretty much pegged out at 50% most of the time. So there will be some cost savings there as well. But also, I was under 20% on battery last time. This time, I've got 25% battery left. We've got an extra hour of screen on time. We can easily squeak out another hour on this. So just by using the brightness at about 50% on average as opposed to the 85%, it has helped out quite a bit. Also, the fact that it's had time to learn the routines and the adaptive battery kick in and all that good stuff. So last time it was barely at about 5 hours, and now we're very, very handily at 6 hours, and it'll go another hour. If we got 6 hours out of 75% battery, we can definitely squeak more out of that. So that's some of the things that I talk about. I even made a video about how to get better battery life out of it. And of course, you can do things like turn the brightness down. You can also have adaptive brightness. You can use that. You can turn off the background processes. You can turn off 120 hertz refresh rate if that's something you want to do. I know a lot of people don't recommend that because why buy the phone if you're not going to use the 120 hertz refresh rate? And I agree with you wholeheartedly. But some people don't care. Some people say they can't even tell the difference. So if you can't tell the difference and you don't care, why not get the better battery life? It's a beautiful screen. It's a nice looking phone, and I very much enjoyed using it. And this is with 5G on. A lot of people have been like, I've had to turn 5G off to get better battery life. There are going to be inconsistencies with battery life depending on how people use it. I've played plenty of Boom Beach on here, but I haven't been playing any Fortnite. If you play Fortnite, you play Call of Duty Mobile, you play PUBG, stuff like that, yeah, it's going to eat up more battery. Gaming is definitely way up there. I haven't used any GPS, so if you're driving back and forth to work using GPS for an hour a day, that's going to eat into your battery. If you're only on 5G instead of Wi-Fi, that's going to eat into your battery. But I think on a mixed usage, on a kind of Wi-Fi, 5G experience, some light gaming, something you're probably going to expect in a typical day, I think that, yeah, you should be able to squeak out 6 hours of screen on time. You'll be able to get a little bit more if you don't use it with the brightness turned all the way up. And I've had a lot of people criticize this for a long time. Normally, I do keep it around 80, 85%. I don't know. I turned it down and didn't even think about it this time. So I don't know. It's been kind of dreary and gloomy the last couple of days. During the summertime, it's definitely up more. That's something to consider too. If I were going outside and going and traveling around, I would have this sucker at 100%. So when it comes to battery life, there's no hard and fast answer because it's always something that you can change, always something you can make better, always something you can definitely make worse. And most of that depends on how much you're using the antenna, how much you're using GPS, and how much you're playing video games. A lot of that stuff really kills it. Surprisingly, watching YouTube videos and TikTok videos doesn't actually burn up a lot of battery. So If you're just doing simple stuff on your phone, you can squeak out even more battery. Other things are the type of connection you're using. When it comes to 5G, if you're in an ultra wideband area or millimeter wave, yeah, you're going to burn up a lot more battery. This is basically where I live, the 5G extended network, which is kind of like enhanced 4G. So if I ever go out to Vegas, my iPhone 13 Pro gets terrible battery life out there because of the connections and the speeds out there. Here back at home at my house, I get great battery life on my iPhone 13 Pro. I go to Vegas, it's gone in a matter of a couple hours. So there are going to be inconsistencies depending on where you live. I was very assured by this. Normally, right now, like this time last year when I was using the S21 Ultra, I was getting about 4.5 hours of screen on time out of the same configuration, basically. Maybe 5 I could squeak out. This one right here, I could probably get 7 comfortably. I could probably push this another hour, get it down to maybe 7 to 10%, and I would be comfortable with that. If you can get 6 to 7 hours screen on time with over 50% brightness and most of the other power settings turned on, the big thing is going to be the processing speed too. Here's the thing. Yes, if you asked me a year ago, I would probably have it on the max setting and be like, you know what, let's just burn the sucker and see how much battery we can run into it. But the processor is so powerful now, I don't really notice much of a difference. Now, before, back in the day, yeah, I would turn enhanced processing off. But yeah, for my day-to-day usage using Twitter and playing Boom Beach and using YouTube Creator Studio and all the stuff that I do, there's no real tangible benefit for me having on maximum. I'd rather have the extra battery life. So there is that. Also, the other thing we need to take into consideration, there is that whole game optimizing service thing, the whole Geekbench delisting the S22 phones. That's something that's probably taking a factor as well with some of the app stuff. I'm curious to see once they allow you to turn that switch off to where it's not optimizing the software more, which you have no control over, how much that's going to impact the battery. Once they come out with that update, I will address that later on and I'll retest it again. But for right now, over 6 hours screen on time, 25% battery left. I'm pretty happy and pretty comfortable with that. Again, if you put it on maximum settings and you turn the brightness up to 100, you're definitely going to kill it faster. You'll probably only get about 5 hours of screen on time, maybe 4.5. You could definitely kill it in that for sure. Like if I went and completely pushed this as hard as I could, you could kill it faster. So I can see why people would probably have complaints. But for somebody who uses this, I hate to use the term average consumer, normal, everyday person, you're not going to do that. So yeah, I don't want to give a bad impression on the battery life, but using it on moderately advanced and high settings that I'm using it on, I'm pretty comfortable with it. So that's all I got in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comments section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.